What is going on, guys? Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to build your network the right way and never eat alone again. Now, if you haven't checked out my last video was essentially a soft skills 101 vid on how do you treat people so good that they love you. You may want to go ahead and check that down below in the description if you haven't already. If you have checked that out, today we're in soft skills 201 and I'm going to be showing you on how to actually build a network. So the first step is how do you treat people? The second step is how do you sustain that relationship? Today's video sponsor is going to be the book, Never Eat Alone and Other Secrets to Success, One Relationship at a Time. I don't care what any other professional or expert says. You can't get anywhere in life if you don't have very well established relationships. The relationships could involve dating, recruiting, it can involve sales, it can involve marketing. Everything and anything you do revolves a relationship. Even with yourself. That's why it's called self-confidence, self-love, self-esteem. You still have to have a positive relationship. To the bare bones of understanding relationships, it's broken up into three categories. Those three categories are parasitic relationships, mutual relationships, and then commensal relationships. Most of the times, we actually push our boundaries back and end up in a lot of parasitic relationships. That's where one other person or organism in the relationship is benefiting while the other is being caused harm. That's why it's called parasitic. They're a parasite. So for those of you who are in narcissistic relationships, whether this is in your professional life or your intimate life, that's exactly why you're very depressed, angry, suicidal, etc. Because the other person, the parasite, whether it's your boss or your spouse or your significant other, they're making you feel like shit. You want to get rid of those relationships. That's step one. Step two is looking for those mutual or commensal relationships. One of the things that Never Eat Alone talks about is actually establishing a relationship. So the way you do that is you have to have an offer of value. Now I don't use the word hate a lot. Everybody says, oh, you need to provide value. Provide value means how can I give someone something? Could be anything. It's not going to be obvious. That's the hard part about providing value. It's not going to be obvious. You have to be able to provide value to someone that somehow, some way, they find a way to leverage that for a better position in their life. And the worst part about it is every relationship, or a majority of them, are going to start out as commensal relationships. You should be the bigger person if you really, really want to build your network and start that commensal relationship off where the other person benefits and you don't. But neither do you benefit nor do you become harmed. So moving forward, step one to have those at least commensal relationships is to provide value. That value could be anything. Into step two is what are your settings? Now, I was speaking to a colleague of mine, and in essence, she was talking about how back in the day, she had a whole bunch of connections. But life hit her hard, and long story short, all those connections that she had, all those relationships that she had, she found out that when life hit her hard and she needed help, when she called her connections or her relationships, they all shut the door on her. So that meant that they had to have benefit before they actually helped her. So either they had nothing in common or it was only for that given time. And as people always say, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Well, if you hang around with people who sell dope, you're going to be around people who sell dope, probably always looking over their shoulder, etc. So you have to find an environment that you're comfortable to live in with and then look for the people who have that same mindset of you. Now, the worst part about it is, and this is why I don't really like network marketing events, is because everybody wants to pitch, nobody wants to buy, everybody wants to sell, but they've provided no value. It's like, I'm coming here, you should buy my shit. I don't like that. That's why I don't really like network marketing events. In comparison, if I ever go to one of those, I'm always trying to figure out who do I want to invite into my life. That's step three. Step three is to how do I get people to want to come into my life? Because at least that way I hold the power, I know more than them, and I pay that mutual respect. Now we're getting into the third relationship. I pay that mutual respect that I respect your core values. I respect what you stand for. Now how can we help each other? Because I can only have a commensurate relationship for so long before I feel used and I don't get any benefit out of it. In terms of establishing and setting in your environment, that really goes to if you start a Facebook group or if you start a LinkedIn group, you're establishing an environment of like-minded people. Now you have to be able to provide value. That's why they say create content or anything like that in that aspect, and teach someone, consult somebody, educate somebody about something they don't know that they can use in their life and ask for nothing in return. That's going to be the commensurate relationship. Look at your content creators. Commensurate relationship. The mutual relationship is when you're providing content and in return somebody's buying your product or your service, or they want to work for you or they want to work with you. Doesn't matter. Now you can both benefit because you both have the same goals in mind and you have these objectives that you want to accomplish, but all because that you were thinking about the other person and you did not want to eat alone. The easiest way to do this is step 5 is create your own environment and provide so much value that people want to enter your life because you hold the power, you hold the knowledge, and you hold the respect. Start every relationship off commensurately, always provide value, and over time it will develop a mutual relationship where both of you are benefiting. Now this can only happen if you're nice to people, but you can't be too nice because then you'd be considered a pushover. You have to set those boundaries that I will agree with you up to a point, because that's when you know those core values that you yourself stand for are respected, and people will appreciate that because you have that backbone. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this, guys. Again, I assure you, go ahead and check out Never Eat Alone. There's a lot of things, especially if you're naturally introverted, that you can pick up on that will teach you on how to not only utilize your EQ and your soft skills, but it will teach you the abstract ways to actually get people to come into your life, and how, if you, especially during this time, during COVID-19 and we're all quarantined, how to actually connect to people. Because I assure you, you have a whole bunch of people on their Facebook Live and their LinkedIn group lives, and you're trying to figure out how to make those connections. This is a really good book to check out because it shows you firsthand how do I provide value to over time get someone to mutually get what we both want. That's it for today's video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure you leave a comment. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I am now on Pinterest, Tumblr, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Until next time, guys, stay tuned. Take care.